Hello, everybody. It's Leela.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Bo.
And welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today we are going to discuss 22 disappointing things that happened in K-pop in 2022.
We love negative.
Hush.
I'm just kidding.
Before we begin, if you prefer positivity, check out the other video on my channel where we talk about the 22 best things that happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
And please take this video in the spirit in which it is intended, which is adults discussing something that they care about.
No hate.
And honestly,
Create.
you know? And
yeah.
We're just here to talk about how we feel about stuff. Not hating on anyone or anything. The reason I've framed it this way is that it's 22 things that disappointed me this year, like me specifically, which is to say, if I don't like a group, I don't care about it enough to be disappointed, right?
Yeah.
The only way I would be disappointed is if I traditionally like the group, if they're one of my faves, and they've done something that I didn't like.
Yeah,
So the only groups I'm going to talk about on here are groups that I like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I see drama come up K-pop, and I'm like, who's that? I don't. If it's not someone I care about, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed by things that I just don't like. So that's none of it's hateful. It's me talking about all my faves and just things that were
we don't. We don't need to preface it so much. If you don't like it, leave. Get out.
Shall we get started?
I like your old desktop.
Isn't it fun? The first thing is an audition.
I was so happy about this.
If you are familiar with our channel, you know that we did recaps for And Audition. My favorite trainee was Gaku. He was a fan favorite on the show. He got all the screen time. He was charming, delightful, talented, an oddball, just like my favorite kind of kid.
Yeah, he was a good kid.
And he, at the very last minute, barely didn't make it into the group, and it made me very sad.
I thought two things. I asked myself, because I cried for days and days when this happened, probably 4 weeks, right? I went into depression.
No.
I said, was Gaku ready? Did he seem ready? Hold on now. I don't quite think he was. No. But hold on now.
What?
Jeez, lady, you always interrupt me. But no, not a lot of the other members weren't either.
Yeah.
Nobody is made from an audition show, gets in the group, is really ready. There's very few examples of it.
That's true.
Yadam from Treasure, people like that, K. And so I think he would have, would he have risen to the occasion? Absolutely. I think he would have made a great addition to.
But you know what?
But I don't think he's going away.
But respect. They were transparent with how the voting was done. It was what people wanted. It's what the producers wanted. So.
Yeah, I forgot. It was almost some producers input.
I really hope we hear from him again. We see him again. I have never heard any rumors of this, but what if he was on Boys Planet?
Yeah, he just seems like a talented kid. I wouldn't be surprised if you heard that he was going to be in a drama or something. He just seemed like a kid that could do
I hope we hear from him again.
He was a good kid.
That was sad.
He was funny, too.
Number 2, members leaving their groups this year. Oh my God, so many.
I know that...
Some leaving for bad reasons, i.e. they should be leaving their group because what's his name from Victon right there was caught drunk driving. What are you thinking?
You're an idol. Get a manager to drive you.
Some leaving, for reasons like that where they deserve to leave their group. Others leaving because it's their choice and that's what they want to do in their career, like Yuri from Us 9, respect.
From Us 8.
From Us 8. Others leaving for mental health reasons,
which makes
me really sad.
Anytime they say mental health reasons, I always want to make sure that they're not being mistreated and they're using. But yeah,
and other. That we have no idea why Jenny left Inmix. We have no idea why.
They got kind of huge fast. It could be a lot for a person. I don't know.
Or restructuring groups. TO1 this year, they just bumped out 3 members and added 3 new ones or something. What are you doing? I didn't even know until recently that they bumped out those members of TO1. If you're a TO1 fan and you know this better than me, please correct me. But the members that left TO1 were the ones that I, remembered the most.
TO1 was one we saw at KCON, right?
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
They were.
Was that before the members left?
That was after.
Okay.
We saw the new version. So apparently they, bumped the group members out of the group, and added new ones because they had a different idea of a direction for the group, which I feel is a little bit
that makes me
sus.
a little. Anytime it's
what does that even mean?
Smaller group.
But what they did was add Japanese members, so it's like, okay,
that's cool. But
did you intend to promote more in Japan? Because I haven't seen it. If that's the case, and then now some of those members that were bumped out of TO1 are going on Boys Planet. So I'm about to have my heart broken.
They might have said, "We're letting you go," and they were like, "Okay,
but
cool."
why?
Who knows?
Anyway. Just members leaving their groups this year. There was so much of it.
This, number 2, really quick points to why I love and hate K-pop, because I'm not normally into a genre that is kind of a produced genre, like it's, like it's created by a company more. But because the personalities can be so strong because they put them on V Lives and you really fall in love with people, like these are really cool. And that it's also sometimes they throw it away so easy. They don't give these groups time to like Jian leaving Purple Kiss. She's 7 members. You need to have that balance. Yeah. We've had it.
And Lightsome, they just remove 2 members of the group because again, the direction of the group for what reason?
Weren't they the youngest though members?
I just don't get it. Like those are ones. And here, this goes into point number 3. Just the absolute biggest heartbreak for me this year.
Granted, this is not in order, but
no, it's not in order. These are in the order that I thought of them.
Yadam, I completely understand, and I completely get it. In fact, I was surprised it didn't happen earlier. It's Yadam.
No. Listen, let me preface this.
I'm sorry, you're the
Let me
Treasure
preface
person.
this. Treasure is my top boy group. I followed them before their debut. I waited for their debut. I loved everything they've ever released. I collected Mashio. He was my bias. I collected his photo cards completely.
I never really,
every piece of merch they ever released, everything they ever did. Treasure was my number 1, and he is my number 1 bias. They, in the summer, were they're taking breaks. Mashio for health reasons, and Yadam because he wants to study being a music producer. And it was okay. And then they're actually, they're going to take a 6-month break. Yep. And I was what the? And then at the end, towards the end of the year, actually, they're leaving YG and the group entirely.
Well, the problem again is that because they're K-poppers, they typically don't go on Instagram and scream about what happened and tell you the truth. And so when somebody leaves a group or is let go, you never know the reason ultimately. Maybe 5 years later they talk about it. Unless you're also June from, which I don't know if it's on here, from Weekly, where she went on her Instagram and talked about it.
Yeah, it's on here.
And she didn't even talk about it that much, that detailed.
That's in here.
So Yadam, I completely understand. He's a super talented kid. He's gonna probably make $1 million being a producer and an artist as well, but a producer, a songwriter. That's how you make real money. Mashio, I can kind of understand too because he's not from Korea.
They never said why, so you can't understand. All they ever said about Mashio was health reason.
Well, then it could be health reasons.
They never said what kind of health reason, like physical health, mental health, injury, illness.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not for him.
But did he actually just hate being an idol? I get that. Okay, I'm talking about Mashio for a minute, and then I'll talk about Yadam. Talking about Mashio for a minute, the thing that it just makes me sad that
he's not dead.
No, it makes me sad because you become a fan of a group, you get very invested. They're just your favorite person. You care a lot about them, right? He's my bias. I care about him.
They make you feel good too, yeah.
And whenever he has to leave for whatever this health issue is, the company is so cold about it. Everything they put out was so vague and so cold. They didn't let him tell us goodbye as his fans. The group didn't get to tell him goodbye. He didn't get to reassure us that he's okay. He didn't get to say or do anything to say goodbye or whatever. Maybe he didn't want to. And there's a point of yes, we have to respect his privacy now as a private citizen, and that it's not our business to know what the health issue is. Even though you made me care about him for years, of course I want to know what's wrong. But I respect that we don't know what's wrong.
There is a reason. I know this sounds kind of hyperbole, whatever. There's a reason that ghosting someone is so powerful. No, seriously, I'm not. But I'm saying that you get to know a personality, and they're in your everyday. You're listening to him, stuff like that. At minimum, you're used to that. Mm-hmm. And when they go away, especially if he's going back to Japan, we have no inroads in Japan. We don't understand any of the language. Yeah. We don't have watch any of their shows. We could probably find out, but he might just kind of go quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Yadom's gonna probably pop up and produce and stuff, and it's like it's like being ghosted. It's not that you're. It's just like, well, what happened? You need to know. And
with the Yadam, what I'll say is that, like, one, he was with YG for so long. Treasure was built for Yadam. Like, there's no arguing there. The group existed to have a group for Yadam to debut in. At the end of the day, debuting in a group with 12 members, I can understand that's probably maybe not what he wanted. And two, this is my speculation. I don't know. He hasn't told us. But my speculation being that what it means to be in a group in YG in 2020 to present time is not what it meant to be a group in YG when he signed up.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, it means spending way more of your time doing things that have absolutely nothing to do with music. Fuck all to do with music.
Yeah.
Even Treasure, like,
well, that's being
they have done so much more that has nothing to do with music. Variety content, like merch photo shoots, and like filming for Variety, like merch things, web dramas, multiple web
Which was
dramas.
fun, but
like so much stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with music. And then going on music shows these days, and like, even that is like not like, sorry, don't get on to me or anything, but like, is that even a live performance? Is anyone singing live? Or are you just like rushing through the dance on stage and then leaving afterwards? Like, music shows,
I think K-pop has graduated past that a bit, yeah.
But I'm thankful that they were both stuck around long enough to do one concert in front of their fans, singing live and like giving us everything. But I can respect if Yedam, after, you know, turning 18, 20 years old, I forget how old he is.
Jiminy Christmas.
Quit knocking my stuff
over. I didn't
over.
touch it.
Thought to himself, maybe this isn't what I want to do. Respect.
Of course.
Respect.
Here's what I think happened. I think an older producer type saw this. I was the young hot guy back then that was like the songwriter. Said, dude, get out right now. I'm not saying it's a bad thing being in the group, but start getting your own credit, start building your portfolio, start working with artists, and he could be the next Rick Rubin or whatever of K-pop. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think somebody
all I want from Yedam, like, make an Instagram, say hi, let us know that you're cool, and I'm looking forward to whatever you do in your career moving forward. But just like, give us a hello. You have fans. But, we want to hear your songs. Like,
Treasure's a bit more of the old school large group boy music. Yadam represents the new music, which is like stoner hip hop in a little bit, groovy soul. You know,
I just want to hear his music.
Ballads, love songs, R&B. That's his jam, and that was not Treasure. Was not doing that. I think Mashio is just a young jockey kid. He tasted the life, and it wasn't necessarily for him.
We don't know that.
This is what I'm saying. I think he probably was worn out and tired and exhausted, and he went back to Japan. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna chill back here. Doesn't mean he'll get out of the industry, but they lost two great people. But I don't think they're lost forever. Come on, they'll be popping in here and there.
I don't know about that. Number 4, Kepler's title track, "We Fresh." So we're big Kepler fans. We followed Girls Planet. We love them.
What is Youngin doing in that picture? She's like,
Wadada as a debut track was like passable. It was like, okay, it was fine. It set the tone. Their summer album comeback with Up, great front to back. Wonderful album.
That's peak
bright
Kepler.
And fun, and Kepler loving it. And then they come out with We Fresh, and it felt like something from like 5 years ago.
Yep.
It was not of the moment.
Nope.
It was not of the sound.
Okay, so
the music video was like not giving. It was boring. But Yeso's like acting performance in the music video, I will give her that. She did a really good job.
Good. They're all collectively good.
We Fresh was just not it for me. It was just not it for me. The rest of the songs on the album, very good.
Pretty good. My question is, now that I think a lot of K-pop girl groups will go in the direction of the new Jeans-iest kind of.
Let's hope.
Not completely. You can't. Not everybody can do that same. We're hanging out at a party drinking out of a styrofoam cup thing or whatever, out of a Dixie cup. But what do you do with these classic K-pop big groups that usually do like girl crushes? What are you going to do with Kepler? And
I don't know,
I
man.
think what they did was, I think when it leans more closely to Cosmic Girls, that's the beach song, the Tika Tika song was so good.
It was so good.
The Summer Bop was so good.
Summer Bop was
Make
excellent.
it, you don't have to do bright to still be upbeat, and maybe they could lean back into a bit more Eyes One-y, glamorous and stuff. I don't, the sporty thing, they're all individually, I'm sure, very sporty. We saw what what a shouting can do with dance and stuff. They're all great athletes. Does that translate to good music? No. They just seem a bit like they still don't have an idea of what they're doing. Granted, this comes from people who, while we got into Eyes One not from the beginning, we got into him pretty early on, and then we caught up. Eyes One was such a powerhouse of personality and style when it came out. That style of music though is not popular now. So what is Kepler going to do? I think that this is the wrong direction. The summer album was by far, it wasn't, people were like, oh, it's cute and it fits them. No, it wasn't cute. It was upbeat and good pop music.
Yeah.
And they all got to have a good time and show their personalities.
Yeah. It was a step backward. I just hope from going forward they can find their place in the modern landscape of girl groups and not get outshined by literally everyone else, because that's what happened with We Fresh. But
yeah.
Okay. Next, Itsy. I know this isn't an unpopular opinion, but I'm a fan of Itsy. I collected their albums.
Nobody hates Itsy.
We've liked Itsy like
Itzy's awesome
for so long. They're so good. They have such a distinct sound. I love the albums that everyone else disliked, like Mafia in the Morning. Loved it. The Crazy in Love album. Loved it. And, this was one where it was like, the album was called Checkmate. They were releasing all the pictures early, and it was like all this queen-looking stuff, and it was royal. And then they're like, but the title track is Sneakers. And then it comes out, and it sounds like a commercial jingle. Yeah,
I thought they were trying to go for the, this sounds dumb, but I'm old. The Julia Roberts movie back in the day.
Pretty
Girl, where she's like a girl out of place in the rich. The sneakers were like, I'm royal, but I wear my sneakers. It was almost like that, and it was a bit cheesy, like a shoe commercial.
It was a shoe commercial.
The thing is Itsy is the group who could do the New Jeans style with girls who are older. Her rap sound. Now, granted, all of them can rap and sing, but especially Ryujin's rap style is a spoken kind of like lazy sound, not in a bad way at all. I'm just saying that's a stylistic rap style.
Yeah.
Holy shit, they would own it. And I think that this was getting done when I really believe this. When New Jeans came out, it caught everybody, but everybody had already gotten all their shit put into presses. And we're like, well, we got to go to the sneaker shit and put it out. And we might as well lean into it. And it's like we're our normal wacky style. But they could destroy New Jeans in that style because they're older, they're more experienced, they have better voices. Everything about them has more experience.
The follow up of Cheshire also was disappointing.
I don't remember any of it.
It just wasn't for me. But Sneakers, like I think a lot of people were disappointed by Sneakers, so this isn't an unpopular opinion.
Itzy's one of those groups.
And I don't hate Itsy. I still love.
No,
them.
of course. I'm glad they had it down, and it's you would like to see a group try stuff but still in their genre and their sound, and they always sound like Itsy, so they never leave that behind. I'm glad they're not trying to do like Kepler in some ways, trying different. It's like get your sound and experiment in that sound, like NCT.
This was just a miss. It was in their sound, and I like Itsy sound, but this was just a miss. It
was a bit joyless.
Sorry. The next one is a more personal one. Number 6, KCON Dallas. This year, KCON came back. They did the big ones in LA. The big one was in LA. And then they did a smaller tour throughout the country where 4 of the groups that were at KCON did shows throughout the country, right? We got tickets. Originally, I'll try to do the short version of this. Originally, it was like 2 nights with 2 groups on one night and 2 groups on the other night. We got tickets for both nights.
Good seats.
Yeah, and as I was looking at, like, the tickets and stuff, like, as it was coming up to the event, like, it was, like, maybe a quarter sold out. And so they consolidated it into one night instead of 2 nights. We got to keep our tickets and got refunded some of the money, so that was cool. And had it into one night. But we went there, and it was, like, half full. the show? It was like half
I'd say half, yeah. Which that if you know that area in Dallas, if you know that venue in Dallas,
I've never been to a dead K-pop show.
it needs to be.
I've never been to a dead K-pop show. And this was a dead K-pop
show. A medium-sized venue, 5,000 people. It needs to be.
It was like a 5,000.
Yeah, it needs to be lit, fun, loud.
I saw Monsta X there. Yeah, and if we saw ATEEZ there.
Yeah, and if it's not energy, it's a bit depressing.
And like, it's not the necessary. Okay, how do I do this? Stacey, we love Stacey. I'm so happy that we got to see Stacey. They did lovely. But the format of this KCON thing was like, it felt to me like watching the music show. You know, we've never been in the audience at a music show.
No.
Where they go on stage and like.
It felt like to me the rehearsal for a music show. It wasn't even as exciting.
All the talking was scripted by KCON. So everything they said. Well, yeah, that's part of it, I'm sure. But all the talking was scripted. They're like, all the interactions were scripted. The songs were like, felt like a music show instead of like a concert. I don't know if that makes sense. It just didn't feel very super live. TO1 impressed me a lot.
TO1 was fantastic.
I'm a very casual awareness fan of them. I thought they did great. They gave their all. No, they gave their all. They did well. I love Stacey. Lightsum was fun to see. Gravity, I really like Gravity. They're one of my favorite new boy groups. Skirt and all. Like Gravity,
they were fine.
They were okay. They it really hurts me to say, but you know, I don't hate them, but it was a disappointing performance.
When the energy isn't there, you don't recognize the lack of energy as the artist. You keep putting more into it.
Precious, poor them, poor KCON, poor Gravity. When they were doing like their talking like between songs thing, Alan is really sweet, and he's like the English speaker of the group. He had like this like tone of voice like a kindergarten teacher trying to get the kids to like be excited.
Pay attention, we're having story time. But they want to play with the blocks.
And I literally joked about it like during the show. I was like, Alan, big kindergarten teacher energy. And it just like wasn't working, and partially I don't know why, because it was the people we were sat next to were all like wet blankets. Everyone around us, wet blankets.
I'm like,
they sat in their seats. They did not cheer.
I'm like,
they did not cheer for anyone.
I'm like, if you're not cheering,
who are you there for?
I'm like, if you're not cheering, surely you're all just drinking a bunch, right? Because what else are you here for? Because you're having nothing, no drink. They didn't get up to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
The thing about having a concert with 4 groups is like, I understand that like people are going to be there for like their one fave and not the other ones necessarily. Yeah. But like respectfully, you cheer for everyone. But people around us, I was like, who are you even here to see? Because you don't look like you're having fun.
They didn't seem to know Stacey even. And I was like, that's the biggest
ruined
group.
It for me a little bit too. Just the scripted interactions, the dead venue. It's not necessarily the group's fault.
No, they did fine.
I just think it was a bit poorly organized. And the venue choice was probably too big and wrong, which makes me really bummed because it probably means KCON's not coming to Dallas again.
I think a few things happened. They did the one in Chicago as the first kind of test run, which was incredible, right? They had the right crowd. Good. It was coming out of COVID.
They live streamed that one. They didn't live stream these for reasons, I'm sure.
So they had that one. They had running in the audience.
It was so fun.
Had a few little incidents.
It looked so fun.
It was so fun. So they cut back. And then what's him called TXT or whatever got grabbed by the drunk guy in the audience, and
that wasn't KCON.
I know. What I'm saying is, I think that K-pop responds immediately to stuff happening. Like, well, maybe we shouldn't have more interaction. I don't know, but it seemed like to me, because of the cancellation, a lot of their plans got congealed down. The energy got sucked out. There was not. It just didn't have. I know it just didn't have that sense of excitement. It was on a Sunday night. I don't know why.
Never matters.
Didn't they cancel the Saturday one?
I don't know, but I don't remember.
They canceled one of them.
But the night never matters with the K-pop show. You have a good show on a Tuesday.
No, what I'm saying is like it, and also it did feel KCON is so kind of like kindergarten-y. It's like things floating and it's very silly and stuff like that. That crowd, maybe they would have responded more to just a regular standard concert, less talking.
I don't know,
but.
I don't
and also, we're hearing only 3 songs from each, 4 songs.
Yeah, 3 or 4 songs from each.
Now, granted, some of these groups don't have many songs.
So there's 4 groups, but the show was like pretty short.
I think they should have had a classic thing, arranged them in seniority or popularity. TO1, Lightsum, TO1, Gravity, Stacey. You would have had, sure, people were light at the front, walking in and out of the first few groups. Sorry, you're
like
not as
4
popular.
mini concerts.
But when Stacy got on the stage, 8 songs, blew out the night, that would have been a more normal thing than this kind of trying to make sure everybody's happy thing.
It was a hot mess.
The groups are great.
I'm sorry.
But
here's a very hot take from me. I hope I don't upset anyone. Please be respectful in the comment section.
Who's these people?
BTS's Proof album having yet to come as the title track was disappointing for me.
I'm so sick of. I'm sorry. Okay. I can say.
Be nice.
I'm. The armies aren't gonna like attack. Well, no, they do know how to hack it. They said it themselves. They were trying to do I think a bit more of like a awareness.
Let me explain why it's on the list. Okay.
Go for it.
It's not because I hate the song or anything like that. It's a disappointment as the title track. That's important. I think the title track of Proof should have been Run BTS, the absolute new banger that we got on that album.
That's BTS.
Run BTS is BTS at their best. It is a banger. The choreography is amazing. It is just a cool ass song. It's a banger. And yet to come should have been a side track for the more sentimental fans who needed to have their hair stroked and reassured that they aren't going to break up just because of the military. It was a little bit too on the nose for me.
But
the lyrics and everything was so self-referential and very sappy and very much talking to the fans directly that feel that them going to the military is the end of the world, and they're having to tell you, we promise it's not. We're still going to be BTS at the end. Whereas I never doubted that would be the case. I'm not a fan who ever doubted that would be the case.
You're also aware of how careers work and stuff.
So I didn't need to be reassured in that way. So them making a song that was such an on-the-nose reassurance in that way, to me, felt cringe. Now, I do not hate. I love BTS.
Okay, I'm not so worried about.
Okay, but that's what I wanted to say.
Here's the thing.
Go on.
BTS before COVID was barefoot on late night TV. They're the hottest shit, right? What's the name? Carrying Jin on the shoulder, doing the.
Yeah.
They were so hot and so funny. That album at that time. What was that album?
7.
7. They were doing stuff. They were trying to do stuff. And you're like, cool. They're going to not only be the most popular K-pop group, but the most innovative. Then COVID happens, so they start doing songs and I'll say it, that were pressured, I guarantee it, from the stockholders and stuff. We have to be socially conscious. We have to reassure the fans. We have to make sure that everybody knows that we're aware that everybody, it sucks right now. And it's completely, I'm not saying that it was bad stuff, but they said it on their live stream that the disco shit and all that stuff like that, which is fine, was not how they were feeling. They probably wanted to do something that was even darker. I bet you they're going through.
We don't know what they're.
No, I'm just saying that they are artists, and they were showing with the last album where they were going.
They're capable of more nuance than what we got in Dynamite and Butter.
Right, and then Yet to Come comes out, and again, I'm like, I don't care that the stockholders are nervous, because they are.
Yeah.
Because this was not only the biggest K-pop, it still is, the biggest K-pop group in the world, but one of the largest Korean products, entities in the world. That's very cool.
But do you, everyone listening, let me know in the comments, do you understand what I mean when I say that, lovingly and respectfully, I don't need them to reassure me of anything, because I like them. I respect them enough to know that they aren't going to just disappear. And if they did, that's their choice.
Right.
But they're not going to. And I know you're going to be back after the military service, and you have lots more to show us. I never doubted you.
Lovingly and respectfully does not need to be stated. If people don't get that, they can buzz off. The point is that they expressed it themselves. BTS, the group, to the point where they were frustrated enough to go into tears and get really frustrated. Sugar was the closest to being like, guys, I'm going to tell you flat out.
Yeah.
They're burnt out. This is hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not. Is it as hard as being a bricklayer or being poor? No, it's a different kind of hard, but it's a pressure that the world is looking at them constantly.
Yeah.
You're at the UN now. You can't even can't talk about anything else anymore.
I know.
And you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying they did good work there. But I'm saying that this was they're not BTS, but again, I've seen USA based artists do this kind of stuff, like We Are the World and stuff. But these days, artists would be like "F you on their Instagram. This is BTS being good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to hear this. I want you to get back to innovating and bringing K-pop further. Which is what JHope did on his solo album, for example.
That's why I love the solo so much. But moving on from that, Weekly's concept change and Jiyoon leaving the group. Jiyoon, me and my bias, another person whose photo cards I collect. I collect weekly albums because I love them so much and loved her. I even loved Holiday Party, and everyone said they didn't like it, and I loved it. That album was great. Everything in like the first chapter of Weekly's discography was good. I really liked. They were one of my top girl groups until Vimpara and this girl crush disaster area of a song, and then my bias leaving the group. So sad.
Again, another group like Itsy, who would completely own a more mellow, funky, but fun.
That's what After School was, pretty much.
That half beat, they were doing that consistently and doing it well. The Vimpara stuff, what are you doing? Like, I'm cool with you doing a concept change or trying to even do a lore thing. That's great. I'm cool with that. But trying to kind of suddenly convince us that these ladies who were previously, like the coolest high schoolers ever are suddenly planet people, which is fine, is fine. But then you lose Jiyoon, who is one of the most unique and exciting idols. Iconic. English, wrote her songs, funny, pretty, cute. She can cover all the bases. She can sing and rap. Yeah. And then it's like there's other idols like that if you lose, you're losing something unique. Why are you doing this? Now we don't know why and stuff. It sounded like contract disputes to me and stuff, but
she had been on breaks for mental health issues. She has since made an Instagram, which is one of the things I was saying I was wanting from Yeda. I forget the exact at if you go search. It's like Uni Genius or something. Yeah. Go follow her, give her a follow. She's like posting regularly. She's done some live streams. I don't quote me on this because I may be misunderstanding. I think that they removed her from the group because it was an inconvenience that she is having mental health issues. So
they would never say it that way. But
don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but I feel like those are the things that
people
heard,
forget too,
which is just some bull crap.
People forget that idols aren't getting $22 million a year.
No, they're not getting anything.
It's like
we'll get into that.
I wouldn't mind leaving because I was getting no money.
No, I think she didn't want to leave the group.
I love her though. I hope she continues to do something, anything.
Anyway, that was we're not alone feeling that way, I think. Another one of my favorite boy groups, Monsta X, whomst I love. One of my top groups. One of my favorites. My alts.
They're pretty good. They're cool.
Their title track of their album, Love, was probably my least favorite title track since their debut.
Oh boy.
It just wasn't it for me. There was just something about it that was just not it for me.
Jihan listens to this. I'm sorry, Jihan.
I'm sorry as well. I still love you. It just wasn't it for me. With a group as prolific as Monsta X, this album that's coming out in the next 2 weeks is like their 12th album or something.
You're gonna have some duds occasionally.
Every once in a while, one is gonna not hit for you, even if you're a huge fan like myself. This was the one. Love didn't hit for me. It's no big deal. They have more songs coming. Love them to death. The side tracks were great.
Yeah.
It just was not it.
Monsta X is a unique group anyway.
Yeah.
So
it was just not.
I'm really eager to see if there is a sea change in K-pop stylistically, what they will do, because they are so talented and they're so
they have such a specific sound.
They're so experienced at this point.
Yeah.
Like how have I not
12 albums? Can you believe that?
Like Jihoon's rap style, very powerful and yeah, right?
Juhan.
What am
you
I
said
saying?
Jihoon.
Oh my god, I'm thinking of this. But what's the name? I am.
Yeah, I am.
His is again perfect for this new genre.
Yeah,
if it happens. And so,
by the way, if you've never listened to I Am solo stuff and you like that sort of mellow rap, that's what he's done. He's done like the emo mellow rap. It's really good.
So I'm eager to see what Monsta X does, but that was not it.
That was not it for me. Sorry, folks.
We did not love it.
Sorry, folks. Similar situation with Gravity. As I said, I'm a fan of Gravity's. I collect their albums, or I did. I might not moving forward.
Yeah.
Party Rock was a miss for me, and I'm a Gravity apologist. Skirt Skirt Vroom Vroom, love it. Like, have it on repeat. Like, in Gravity, every album has like one side track that's like one of my favorite songs of the whole year.
Yeah.
This album, the side track
What
was
label are
colorful.
they?
Starship with
Okay.
Monsta X.
Yeah.
But that title track of Party Rock was not it. It was not it on any level.
Yes. They can't
Not
all be
it
wins.
for me.
I kind of like it when they have a dud occasionally because they're trying something. But
it happens.
But they still
it
sound
happened.
like Gravity. Still sounds like
It
Gravity.
happened.
I
Sorry.
thought the Vroom Skirt was great.
Yeah.
Do more of that, Gravity.
I mean, I can do without Vroom Vroom skirts.
Well, I'm just saying.
Adrenaline was really good.
Okay, there you go.
This is a very personal opinion.
What? What are you
number
talking
11?
about? You're.
Let me explain. Allow me to explain. The pop punk trend. Okay. Pop punk as a trend in K-pop this year. In fashion, I'm all on board. Dressless way, you kill it. I love the fashion.
Okay.
As a musical sound in K-pop, I dislike it. I dislike it.
If you don't do it right, you sound like an after-school special or something. You know, like
pop punk.
Hello, fellow kids, that kind of thing.
As a musical sound, if you don't know what that is or whatever, I don't know that I could explain it to you, but like, I'm old. I grew up with like pop punk, as it was like in its first iterations, and that's what I liked as a teenager.
Yeah, like heavy rock,
was like
punk stuff like that.
So that's what I grew up with, and back then, and in the like origins of punk and pop punk, it is actually edgy.
Well, and it has
there's nothing in the world less edgy than K-pop, and that's part of why I love K-pop as an adult, as an old person.
Yeah,
because it's so gosh darn wholesome.
Yeah, it's not taking itself. Well, it's taking itself seriously, but it's not serious.
So
yeah,
K-pop idol groups trying to do something that sounds punk and like edgy, and it's even like pop punky. For me, I'm sorry, is cringe. It's cringe.
It can be.
The fashion style is great.
Some people pulled it off.
Musical sound, almost nobody pulled it off.
Yena pulled it off.
That wasn't pop punk.
No, that was more
that was
like
pop.
Lindsay, what's her name, from 2002 or whatever. But
yeah.
It was more rock pop, but...
Pop rock.
But you know what I mean? That's as close as K-pop should try and get.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
like,
you're going to need to pull out a band.
The examples that I have here is like G-Idol's Tomboy. It did not hit for me.
I can say this.
Everyone loved it,
I hated Tomboy. I
yeah.
thought it was one of their weakest tracks.
This is coming from someone who like G-Idol Lion, G-Idol Oh My God.
Of course.
Two of the best K-pop songs that exist. Tomboy, I couldn't believe that came from the same group. It's not for me.
But I think a lot of people are going around doing the rock thing there. Billy
Woods,
and stuff.
who I adore. Woods, whom I adore. I collect his albums. The title track from Colorful Trauma, I Hate You, was probably the worst offender of this pop punk sound that he was experimenting with, which I respect him wanting to experiment with it, but I just feel like pop punk is a sound that you need a band for. A individual singing over the top or a group singing over the top of a pre-recorded backing track does not suit that genre of music at all. So that's not what I go to K-pop for. I go to K-pop for R&B, rap, hip-hop inspired pop, just straight pop.
Or the unique sound that is K-pop.
Or even like soft rock, contemporary rock.
Sure, yeah.
Like all that stuff I go to K-pop for and I'm happy with. But I do not go to it for pop punk.
If it helps, this was a very short.
And like my beloved treasure, the song Volcano, the rap line song, that has like this like
I thought it was
rap rock 2001 Limp Bizkit.
Here's the thing is,
I'm sorry, boys, I cannot. That was a firework.
Oh God, I think that I like what they did, but I thought they should have done a Beastie Boys era,
more Beastie Boys,
and less
Limp Bizkit.
Right, and the Beastie Boys.
If you don't know the difference, like just go listen. Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
Like Beastie Boys, yes. Limp Bizkit, no.
Right. Well, but
so like this is just a very personal opinion.
It's strange because you don't know how it spread so quickly, a genre. Like, everybody's doing rock, hurry.
I need this trend to die.
Because Billy did theirs, and that was a good song, fine. But it wasn't my favorite.
Even metal, I can handle from groups like Dreamcatcher or whatever, where it's like rock and
but
metal.
What Billy did was hair metal.
And even hair metal. Because hair metal is fake.
It's kind of funny, yeah.
Hair metal is cheesy. K-pop is cheesy.
But why did they do
works.
hair metal? It's so weird.
Pop punk and stuff like that. It sounds like an after-school special when it comes from
because
and that's just cringe to me.
Because initially, pop punk itself, is pretty on the
intentionally offensive often.
Well, yeah, but it's also intentionally poppy. So it's not. Yeah. It doesn't harken back to. It doesn't harken back to to the Dead Boys.
You're talking to me like when I was a teenager, buying Green Day's first album when it came out, and it's called Dookie, and the songs are about like inappropriate things that
farting
idols would never speak about.
Yeah.
Like, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Green Day back then. I'm not one of those people who like still listen to the same music. Like, I like new music. But anyway, that's just me. It's just me.
Yeah, no,
other people
I'm glad it's gone. Goodbye.
It's not gone though.
Well, it will be. It will be.
Number 12, Ticketmaster. I hate you, Ticketmaster. You ruin K-pop. I hate you, Ticketmaster. Like, one, they're stupid dynamic pricing, VIP, whatever they call it, seats, where the price that a group sets for their concert tickets is meaningless because Ticketmaster will just dynamically jack the price up to over $1,000 for a ticket. It's not even a reseller doing it. It's Ticketmaster doing it. And like Ticketmaster, every time a new concert tickets went on sale, the site would freaking crash. It would all be down in like 2 seconds. Everything would be sold out. You go look at it the next day and it's 80% pink dots of shit that's being resold by resellers.
But
it's disgusting.
But
I hate
there
Ticketmaster.
was a reason that why didn't BTS have the same issue that
they did?
I'm saying that Taylor's the same fallout that when Taylor Swift's went
I
up
don't know.
is because I think maybe they sold larger venues, but larger venues.
I don't know.
She did not sell small. I mean, she sold large
Yeah.
venues, but not the LA Stadium 2 nights for 70,000 people. She sold more of a tour's worth, so more people took a bite of it. But what I'm saying is what's interesting about what happened with Taylor Swift, where people actually noticed, Congress even noticed, is because that's.
I hope that.
Well, what I'm saying, when you have 300,000 to 500,000 people spread out over the nights of the concerts, let's say, do have an issue. That's called the equivalent of like a boycott or unionization of an issue. So if people would do that, if let's say next time BTS comes through or something like that, or Metallica or whatever, the fans got together. And this is very hard to do, and said, nobody's going to buy tickets. We're gonna show them for a week. It's not going to happen because they also let you do scalping. They let bots in there, so I don't think it will ever change until the law does get involved and says you cannot take something that the artist sets and raise it by 300% and change it last minute and It's a very psychologically.
If there will be no tickets available because they're bought by scalpers and resold. They're the pink dots on the map. And if there are any that are still available, it's that dynamic pricing, and it'll be like outrageous. It's just, this year was particularly bad because everyone was touring again and everyone wanted to go see all the groups because everyone was touring again. So like we didn't go to a lot of shows this year, partially just because getting tickets was a cluster.
I also don't feel like it's really.
And the only way I could get tickets for Stray Kids for next year was to break down and buy the resale prices that were really stupid. But like, I really want to see Stray Kids.
But this is a monopoly on a certain thing. It will have to be broken, and it will be broken by a law, not by people, because people can't resist buying their tickets.
A scourge.
Fuck Ticketmaster.
Number 13, the absolute implosion of Luna and Blockberry Creative, with them kicking out Chu, which is just insane, attempting to run a smear campaign on her that nobody is buying.
Okay, for the record, there's a base point to start here. Blockberry is telling the truth. Chu was mean to a few people. Well, guess what? Fine. Because she's in an industry where you have to stand up for yourself. Or what happens is you're the rest of Luna and you get no money. Chew is what she's doing right now. If this is seen as revolutionary, then let more idols be seen as this, because she is saying, I want to have money. She's what, 24?
All of them have worked for no money.
Now, see, her mother, I want to say her mother, I could be wrong. Luna's fans are called Orbits. Let me know, Orbits. But I believe her mother is a businesswoman of some kind.
Maybe.
But either way, somebody said, or she decided, I'm getting screwed here. I'm going on all these shows.
They work so hard. I can't even imagine. They've worked so hard their whole career for nothing.
I believe almost every idol does. Physically works hard.
Yeah, so but
what she is doing is saying, no, not anymore. I'm going to start my own company. I'm going to own my own image. Yeah. I'm going to make my own money. If you want to be a label and own me, that's fine. You get a percentage, but I still have my shit on the side. And I think Korean Law is going to be on her side, and she'll be fine. My prediction, I'm going to say it right now, and I don't think it's going to happen. It's a fantasy prediction, is that she's going to actually have Luna on her new label, which has 20 million she secured. I think 20 million she said, and somebody else will put in some money, and then Luna will break up into smaller groups and have little albums or whatever. But
just the whole thing is just shameful.
I don't know why you would attempt to smear somebody whose entire shtick. Now look, are we talking about what's her name? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Olivia High. Oh, she's a little goth. Maybe she was a little gripey once in a while. That's what people might believe. But Chew, like the one whose shtick is bright, shiny, silly, fun, cute. Sure, she might be, but nobody believes it. And if you're going to say that, you have to have receipts. And the only receipts they had was, we made her apologize, or we talked to the people.
Slightly demanding text messages because she was aggravated by their incompetence.
Again, could be lost.
I'm on her side 100%.
So what Blockberry did here was probably guarantee the dissolving of the company. Nobody's going to trust them anymore. Nobody should. And the fans uniting and saying, let's not support this company more and try to find a way that we can.
The fact that amidst all this, they tried to announce a comeback and nobody bought the stupid album.
Didn't they cancel the company?
They actually boycotted, which good on you fans. Good on you, because literally you would buy that album and not a cent of it goes to those girls.
Well, because they knew.
And so they actually canceled it.
They knew if we don't support it, it doesn't matter because they're not getting supported anyway.
Yeah, they're not getting supported.
And this is where Chew is.
That's one of those things that just breaks the relationship and the unwritten contract you have as a fan, is that when I buy albums, I'm doing it to support my favorite group. The concept that it's like they get nothing.
No, you're not. So don't buy that album. That's fine. You're supporting the label that then gives them free clothes,
but they're not giving them anything.
And food, right? But people are tired of that relationship. That's why fan signs are so effective, is you can go there and literally kind of see them and have this organic. What I'm saying is I do believe that if it happens right, if Chew plays her cards right, which I think she's very smart.
Yes.
People do not give her credit because she's so cutesy. She's super intelligent. That if she succeeds and starts a label and blah, 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 it's similar to those other artists, like GOT7 being independent after JYP, of examples of where K-pop, the organization that is K-pop, the historical kind of way they do it will start to break up.
Let's hope.
And you'll see more of a, like over here, if you have a famous rapper like Cardi B or something, I don't know if I bet you anything she's got her own label. She probably owns 3 companies. She's a millionaire.
Probably.
And that needs to start happening in K-pop. We cannot put Chew on every YouTube thing and she's on all these ads and she's not getting paid any money. And she's realizing that.
That's insane.
And again, I believe Korean Law is on her side.
I think so too.
So, yeah, screw Blockberry.
Yeah.
And I hate that name, by the way, because every time I hear it, I think of BlackBerry, the defunct phone company.
Okay, back to Monsta X. We went to see them in concert this year. It was the one concert that had been delayed for almost 2 years. And this is just like a very nitpicky small thing for me. The actual set list at the Monsta X show this year was disappointing to me. They played a lot of newer songs and stuff that songs that weren't my favorite.
They played his Trot song, which I thought
was great.
That was fine.
There were certainly good
and they perform well.
But overall, we didn't get to hear a lot of the songs that I really like. Probably because they're the older ones that have Shonu, so they would have to have
that's possible. Yeah.
Rearranged them and stuff. So it was probably more difficult.
That's probably what it was.
But just the set list this year, it just wasn't my favorite. It's just very nitpicky.
Well,
but
they're out there small. They were at 5 members. It's
Yeah.
You know.
5 of 6, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
OT7, baby.
OT7.
But what I'm saying is that
but yeah, it was just
it's possible that they're aware of the weak spots in the songs and
it was a lot of the English album stuff that isn't my favorite.
Well, I don't know why they think K-pop fans want to hear English so much.
Their newer English album is good. The
I
first
know,
one
but
wasn't
like,
my favorite, but yeah, it was just one of those things.
I'm just saying that BTS became the largest group in the world. We're going to all these late night shows and weren't singing English songs
at the time.
So at the time, that's what I'm saying.
That was just a nitpicky thing for me.
Still a great show, but
yeah. NCT 127, NCT I've been a fan of, pretty consistently. But this year,
I like the group.
It has kind of fallen off for me, honestly, just personally. And Two Baddies, I haven't heard people talk about it. Maybe I'm just not paying attention.
Okay, we know.
But legitimately, I can't listen to the song. Okay. No hate.
I understand.
But I cannot listen to the song.
But the song is actually called 2 B words. And of course, he said
I think that's what Johnny said.
That's what Johnny said. It's 2 B words.
The original,
female dog words. Now, that is a play on an old meme. You don't know what...
No. We're not, don't bring that up. Okay. That's gross.
I'm just saying, why are they even, the title, I was like, I understand what you're doing. And I thought, okay, maybe they're talking about 2 baddies, they're 2 baddies? Or it was just this confusing mess. I'm like, that title...
Just, this is my age showing, but I don't like the word baddie. Have other people said this?
And the German Nazi meme, that's funny. He's like, are we the baddies? But other than that, I've never heard it.
I don't, I get the kid lingo, and a lot of, cool kid lingo these days, I like.
Do they
but
say
baddie? I do not like the
Kids,
word baddie.
Do you say baddie these days?
Does anyone say baddie? Because I don't like it. I never hear it.
I'm not on TikTok. I don't know.
I think it's a dumb-sounding word.
I think it was...
And it was just... The way that they say it, it's just so cringe to me. I'm sorry. Any fans who liked it, I'm glad you liked it.
Again,
But it was so cringe to me.
And I hate to keep bringing this up, but I do believe that the style of K-pop is going to change. The style of music has been changing for the last couple of years. It just sounds like old, 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, I understand. Now, if that's your thing, if that's your
fine.
Sound, keep doing your sound. Stick by it, enjoy it. You have fans.
I'm a sticker enthusiast.
Yeah.
I loved Sticker. Other people did not like Sticker. It was a very divisive song, but I will defend Sticker to the death. But Two Baddies, I literally it came on random shuffle once, and I had to run and turn it off. There's just something about it. A
lot of their songs are missed.
It was not it for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They're a bit prog rock.
I'm very sorry.
I don't know what it is.
This one is another hot take. I apologize for.
They're gonna hack you.
Jungkook's World Cup song "Dreamers." I was disappointed that he went through with performing at the World Cup. To just be frankly honest with everyone, I was disappointed that he went through with that. I would have preferred that he not dip his toe into the controversies of the World Cup this year.
There are two aspects to it. People whose team went to the World Cup and went far, especially.
Well, that's their job. They're the soccer players. Of course they're going.
But there's entertainment, just like the person working at the food
he
stand.
He didn't have to be there.
No. There is an aspect of that. The World Cup does pull in people from different areas and da-da-da. There is that cheesy stuff. It is actually true in some ways, but there is a 80% slice of the pie.
Of a corrupt organization.
Not only corrupt...
Especially this particular World Cup, the one in Qatar.
When you play a club, I'm
not here to educate anybody about anything. No. I'm just saying.
When you play a club that does not allow gay people in it, you're playing a club for bigots. That's it.
Yep.
There's no. Yep. I don't give a fuck how much. Excuse my language. I don't care how much you got paid. You already, Yeah. And lesson learned, hopefully, JK.
No.
Because.
And I'm saying. Again, sincerely, I just wish he wouldn't have done it. Also, I didn't think the song was that good. I couldn't finish the song.
I didn't even hear it.
It was this world music-y, uplifting attempt. I can't listen to you try and sing something uplifting in that environment. I just can't do it. And I just really wish, whatever contractual obligation led him to be there, I just wish he could have pushed back on it. So I'll just say that. I'm looking forward to his solo work moving forward. I hope he gives us an incredible album.
Hopefully he learned a lesson.
I don't know that he learned anything. I don't think there were enough people that had anything negative to say about it. But just in a very personal level, I was just disappointed that he didn't pass on that one. So let's just move on. Yeah. I would have passed on that one.
If I had already $1 million.
The fact that J-Hope's album Jack in the Box did not have a physical version, it only had this little paper thing that had a photo card inside.
Okay.
As a physical album collector, I was disappointed.
Would you have been better if it was no physical album beside, but still an album? Like a photo book?
Yeah.
Okay, then there you go. It's not, it was the packaging size or shape. It was not the...
I have nothing to display.
I agree. I like that people are acknowledging first of all, I like that it's a digital thing. It's less waste. It's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but still.
But we do not own digital content. I'm not going to get into all of that. Trust me.
It's true.
The whole thing with CDs is silly, but you will have those CDs for at least 20, 30 years if you take care of them. We still have CDs that if all electricity in the world died tomorrow.
If the internet went down, we could still listen to our CDs.
We could still listen to our CDs. So I was disappointed in that as well. I was mostly disappointed with the fact that it didn't really lean into JHope. Like, it was such a chance for him to do it didn't have to be physically big, but do something weird. A pop-up book would have been interesting. Anything. I thought it was a bit cost-cutting in a way.
Yeah, and
I'm like, no, don't cut costs.
Because Jin and RM's albums came with physicals, and so I have them on display, but I have nothing to display. So, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Albums coming with 6,000 freaking versions, every single one of them, including jewel cases and digipacks. As a collector, this is just a scourge. And I say this hypocritically because I do buy the stupid things because I'm a collector, so I buy.
I have my bias or two.
Why do there have to be 12 versions of an album?
I would buy secondhand from somebody to get my favorite and be done with it.
Yeah, it's just aggravating because they'll do regular album versions and then also on top of that member versions for each member, and depending on the size of the group, that's like for Treasure, like 10, 12 extra versions. And so like when I collect a group, it's like, what do I do? So lately I've been like buying the regular version and then one of the digipacks, and I'm just mad about it, even though I still do it.
To me, it reeks a bit of let's just simply make some money, which is fine. There's just K-pop gives you more with albums than most any genre nowadays. Don't get me wrong. No, there's a whole vinyl thing out there where they give amazing vinyls like back in the day. But still, it's like
I made my peace with it because, like I said, I do buy the stupid things. But I'm still, I can complain if I feel like it. So
it's not my favorite thing.
I'm complaining. Number 19, the song lyrics for "Cookie" by New Jeans.
Why are you talking about this?
Oh my god! And the absolutely get serious, obnoxious, ridiculous statement that the company put out about it, saying no, it's actually about baking cookies for your crush.
The most important thing,
what do you mean that's an innuendo that our 14-year-old girl is singing?
The most important thing is it's the weakest song on the album as well.
Yeah,
but
without horrible lyrics, it would have been a really good song. I intentionally do not listen to it. It's not in my playlist, not because like the song itself is bad. The song is good. It's those lyrics. I just can't listen to a little teenager talking about that. It's too gross.
To me,
it's just too much.
The most offensive thing about it is that they are using a term that younger people these days might not use.
I didn't even know it.
The term cookie?
No, I mean this sincerely. I'm a square.
This is.
But it's not a term I'd heard.
I heard it in hip hop quite a bit too and stuff like that. But
when you explain it and you say, yes, that has that meaning.
Minus the terminology. When she's saying, I'm going to bake you a cookie,
I want you to taste it,
I'm sorry,
et cetera.
You're sexual innuendoizing, whatever the word is, something.
Yeah.
The point is that the fact that they used a term that older people, you never want to peek behind the curtain in K-pop because there's a team of 4 dudes and some lady.
The girls probably didn't know what this means.
They knew it was a sexually charged song.
Yeah.
Come on. They're on TikTok and stuff.
True.
Kids are not stupid.
No, I know.
But the fact that they might as well, it's like if they used a term that older people only use now. It was so gross in the way that they're putting their adult stamp on it and be like, we're adults talking about this 14-year-old's body.
Yeah,
no, it's not only wrong, but if you bought it or supplied it, guess what? You're giving money to people who are okay with that. So this is like a Ticketmaster.
It's a really, really difficult position to be in because I like New Jeans' music a lot.
Why could they not have been singing about just a crush they had or a test they were late for?
Why did you do this?
Why could they not just sing about things that 14-year-olds sing about?
Why'd they have to make it weird? Why'd you have to make it weird? Is
I-
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I think this is one of the low points in K-pop.
yeah.
Other than the really old school stuff that's really crazy.
Also, like, no hate or anything towards any of the groups that I have pictured here, but none of the new boy groups this year outside of &TEAM made a splash for me. I listened to everyone's debut songs, all of these groups, and it just was like a pass for me from everybody. Like, they kind of all blend together. The visuals are like, the styling's very similar. The sound is very similar.
Boy groups seem a bit lost right now. I didn't
feel like any of the new groups that I listened to this year were bringing anything to the table for me, really, outside of &TEAM.
There were some good individual moments and stuff like that, but there's a reason they had two ladies groups win at Mom or whatever, is because they're, like I said, because they have nowhere else to go but to innovate. Boy groups have been vampires. There have been time travelers. They've been, magicians. They've done everything for so long that eventually the pendulum swings back the other way. Now, to me, I don't think it should have anything to do with the gender or whatever, but I think that it's true that boy groups have had, for at least the last couple of years especially, have had this such a certain look.
That's just the groups that debuted in 2022. Groups that debuted in like 2021 and 2020 are still killing it and doing amazing, There's like a lot of newish boy groups, like even like Stray Kids, though to be fair, they've been around for a while now. Like the fourth gen boy groups that are like still doing great, even newer ones in hyphen, I love them. I love all their music. It's just the brand new ones. They're just not bringing anything to the table.
It's like they're trying to do this cool, pretty thing that is not. It's like, come on, we've done this a billion times.
I can't put my finger on why. It's just not.
I know.
Just not it. 21. Did I have 22? I can't remember.
Should have 20.
I hope so.
You could just press forward real quick.
No. Okay. 21 was Purple Kiss's like musical direction as well as the direction of like their music videos. The last two albums, both the Meme one and the Nerdy one, had where this picture is from.
The witch.
The witchy like concept videos before the album was released, which were brilliant. They're like campy and kitschy. It's like Wes Anderson made a like
Tim Burton
witch
Wes
vibe.
Anderson, yeah.
Tim Burton, like the style, the like slightly dark sense of humor.
By the way, it's something you can do on a smaller budget. I don't think they have no money, but I think they have something you can do on a smaller budget.
Those they kill, and then the music videos come out, and they just have nothing to do with it.
Which is I'm kind of cool with. I just wanted it to be a little closer to it.
They had nothing. They didn't have any of the sense of humor. They didn't have the style. Like Zombie, is just one of my favorite things that ever existed. And Purple Kiss is one of my top groups. If you watch my Spotify thing, they were my top listened to group this year.
Group.
I'm just disappointed in their visual direction for their music videos and slightly for their sound direction in the last two title tracks. You know what I think happened
too, though?
It's just the title tracks. The side tracks are amazing. They're trying to find their feet, and it's going to they started out dark mature, and now they're going dark girl crush, and I'm like, dial back the girl crush. Let's go back to mature, because that's what we love.
Again, another group who could destroy this
and
new
kitschy
style. Who could do a more mellow.
The funny, kitschy Wes Anderson stuff should be in the music videos too. Come on.
Well, remember, Zombie was their highest moment probably in their career, I bet. Probably.
For me, at least.
Well, I think sales-wise or just views-wise probably was their biggest thing.
So good.
And then it was like they did these two little mini films. You're like, oh, they're leaning into the zombie thing, but doing more quirkiness with it, which is fun. And then they were it was like they were tricking you in a way.
And then they abandoned it
when
it comes the time
we're doing a girl crush thing with a weird thing. It's like that's cool, but
you built a lore, but the payoff should be in the music videos. But that's when they abandoned it.
Right, and every song didn't need to be like a zombie, funny, scary song, like a Halloween in November scary song that's funny, like Tim Burton stuff always. But they could have gone that way a little bit. But Meme was. And all those other ones were just kind of, and this new one or whatever was just kind of like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but they're lost. That's why I think, they're really lost now with that.
Oh, I did have a number 2. And 22, the last one I'm going to mention is just like another song that didn't hit for me. Just I just can't listen to it. It just grates on me. Like I can't. It didn't hit for me.
This is why I don't like Girl Crush a lot of times, is because it puts or whatever the version of that is in Boy Crush, whatever version that would be. You can't. You have to own that, and I just don't see Chaewon and Sakura really.
It's not that for me.
They're prettier
it's
and
literally
elegant.
Just the sound of the song is
grating kind of.
grating.
Yeah.
And the rest of the songs on the album are really good. I've had them on repeat. It's just that title track for me was a no.
Yeah,
Was
the
a no for
direction
me,
of the
dog.
other songs are great.
No
I
for
think
me,
they're
dog.
leaning into that modern style more, but Anti-Fragile was kind of dumb.
I didn't.
It kind of is like this photo. I'm
I
like, what are
didn't
you
like
doing?
it.
You're
I
like,
didn't like it. Sorry.
yeah, not the greatest.
And that's it. That's our negativity. Please go in the comments and let us know what was disappointing for you this year. Please don't be mad at me.
No,
for
they're gonna be.
anything that I said.
Just subscribe though. She's trying to get to 1,000.
Please do subscribe. And thank you for
Yay.
listening to us complain.
Woo!
Isn't it fun being negative? Woo!
Oh, it's
No.
fine. It's fine. We like all these groups though, so it's not a big deal.
Yes. As I said, I only complain because I care.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.